The respiratory system's main job is to bring oxygen into the body and remove carbon dioxide. The average adult takes about 12 to 20 breaths per minute while at rest. That adds up to more than 20,000 breaths every single day. The lungs are not identical. The right lung has 3 lobes, while the left has 2 lobes to make room for the heart. Your lungs are spongy and soft, and together they weigh around 1.3 kilograms, about 3 pounds. If you stretched out all the airways in your lungs, they'd measure about 1,500 miles, 2,400 kilometers, in length. The surface area of the lung's tiny air sacs, alveoli, is roughly the size of a tennis court. Humans have about 300 to 500 million alveoli, which massively increase gas exchange efficiency. Breathing is controlled automatically by the brainstem but can also be consciously controlled. The diaphragm is the primary muscle used in breathing. It contracts to pull air in and relaxes to push air out. We breathe through 2 main passageways, the nose and the mouth. Nasal breathing filters, warms, and humidifies air before it reaches the lungs. Tiny hair-like structures called cilia line the respiratory tract to trap and move out dust and microbes. Mucus in the respiratory tract also helps trap dirt, bacteria, and other unwanted particles. Sneezing is a reflex to clear irritants from the nasal passages. Coughing is a protective reflex to expel particles or mucus from the airways. At rest, each breath moves about 500 milliliters of air in and out, called the tidal volume. The respiratory system works closely with the circulatory system to deliver oxygen to every cell. Oxygen binds to hemoglobin in red blood cells for transport around the body. Carbon dioxide, a waste product, is carried back to the lungs mainly dissolved in plasma or as bicarbonate. You can survive for weeks without food, days without water, but only minutes without oxygen. High altitudes have less oxygen pressure, making breathing harder until the body adjusts. Lung capacity can be increased with regular aerobic exercise. Smoking damages cilia and alveoli, reducing lung efficiency and increasing disease risk. The left lung is slightly smaller than the right lung to accommodate the heart's position. The epiglottis acts as a flap that prevents food and drink from entering the windpipe when swallowing. The trachea, windpipe, is about 4 inches, 10 centimeters, long in adults. Bronchi branch off from the trachea into smaller tubes called bronchioles, leading to alveoli. Each lung is surrounded by a protective double-layered membrane called the pleura. Breathing rate can speed up due to exercise, fever, anxiety, or high carbon dioxide levels in the blood. Some deep-sea divers can hold their breath for over 10 minutes with training. Newborns breathe much faster than adults, about 40 times per minute. The respiratory system can detect smells via the olfactory receptors in the nasal cavity. Without the respiratory system, speech and singing wouldn't be possible. The voice depends on airflow through the vocal cords.